Happy Tuesday, everyone. We're gonna get started, and the practice we're moving into is kind of focused on hips and hearts today. So opening across our hearts and our hips a little bit too. The heart space intention, though, is considering how it would feel if we gave ourselves the freedom to move through our lives, our complete selves. I was reading a book and it was talking about how, some people, they travel through their lives unapologetically themselves. And I think all of us know people that move through the world like this. And we look at that and we're like, wow, that looks so free. And the thing is, we have the power to give ourselves that permission to show up as ourselves and to not hide any piece of ourselves out of fear or shame, but to invite each piece of ourselves in. And the yoga practice is a practice that allows us to practice that, right? To practice including your entire self into an experience and allowing your whole self to be present there and to show up as you are. And maybe over time that little barrier that is your yoga mat in the outside world begins to fade away a little bit and fall away. And so there is no threshold that you have to walk through to feel like you're in a safe space where you can be yourself and you can show up in complete authenticity and in your truth. And you don't need to be what the world tells you you should be, but you get to be exactly who you are. So I hope that our practice today is just a chance for you to practice stepping into your complete, whole, entire self, in complete authenticity and truth, meaning maybe the movements adjust for your body, and maybe the internal practice looks a little bit different today in terms of how you speak to yourself, or even just the noticing of how you speak to yourself throughout our flow. We'll start in Shavasana, though, on the back body. So go ahead and lie back and get comfortable. And of course, if you prefer seated meditation, you can stay in a seat as you start to settle in, and maybe close your eyes if that feels safe. And we'll start to arrive together through the vehicle of our breath. So just trying to feel the rise of each breath in and the release of each breath out. Start to feel your breath not only as an invitation to your practice, but also that doorway, that entryway into the core of who you are. Your breath, that reminder to be present, and then also to be present in a way that is true to you. So sometimes being present in a way that is really honest means being present but acknowledging the difficulty in that, right? Or being present even though you know there is some struggle happening in the background, but still choosing to show up anyways. Or being present is the focus point of your breath or your body, letting everything beyond that single focus point drift off. And so letting your breath help you arrive present to your practice, whatever present looks and feels like for you this morning. And present again in that really honest and authentic way of showing up as you are this morning. Checking in with yourself as we show up and asking yourself what you need today. And allowing this practice to be exactly that. And so in honor of moving and breathing and taking these 60 minutes to be unapologetically ourselves, proud of who we are, free of shame and judgment, we'll take a deep breath in through the nose all together. And whenever you're ready, clearing, exhale to release. And on 2 more cycles of breath just like that, and inhale through your nose. Another clearing exhale whenever you're ready to let go. And just one more time, letting your inhale fill your entire body. And that clearing exhale all the way to empty. And then start to seal your lips and breathe through your nose. And eventually make your way into a full body stretch. And so if you're in a seat, go ahead and transition to the earth. If you're already on your back body, reach through your fingers, reach through your toes. Take a nice full inhale. And then on your exhale, start to bring your knees into your body. Take a little rock from side to side. And take a breath again into your low back. And as you exhale, take your hands to your right shin, extend your left leg out across the earth. And notice how when you take your breath into your low back, how the muscles around your spine respond. Again, breathe into your low back. And this time on your exhale, find your supine twist. Let your right knee tip across your body to the left. Your heart open to the sky. And breathe into your low back. And take one more breath here. Maybe you reach your breath from that base of your spine area, from your low back up into the back of your heart space and your right side body. At the bottom of your exhale, as all of that breath empties away, we're going to move into a figure 4, right ankle on our left thigh. So as you tip back to center and stack your right ankle on your left thigh, flex your right foot, and then without using your hands, start to bring that figure 4 towards you. So using the opposing action will strengthen your legs to create the stretch. So as you flex your right ankle, press your right shin bone forward into the resistance of your left thigh. Right knee is moving energetically forward. Maybe take a little rock from side to side, still without your hands. And then if you'd like to, go ahead and reach behind your left hamstring or on top of your left shin for a breath, just to feel the difference in sensation. Now let your left foot land to the earth and send your right leg up towards the sky. Reach behind your right leg just for a moment to check in with your hamstring. Feel free to have some softness in the back of your right knee as you stretch your right heel tall to the sky. And see how it feels to send the breath to the back of your heart space, the space between your shoulder blades. And from here, start to bend your right knee towards your body. You can keep your left foot as is for now. And take your hands behind your head, elbows wide. Start to use the strength of your core to lift your head and shoulders. And then twist your heart to the right, so your left elbow is going towards your right thigh. If you can touch your elbow and your thigh together, squeeze them together. If they don't reach, no worries. Just think about boosting your heart up towards your right thigh. Now keep your twist, and on the inhale, lengthen your left leg forward to a hover. Extend out your left heel. On your exhale, keep the twist, just lift your left leg slowly to the sky. Then inhale, left leg lowers back to a hover. You're still in your twist. Shoulder blades working to lift away from the earth. And exhale, left leg lifts up towards the sky. And inhale, left leg lowers slow and with control. And on your exhale, lift your left leg up to the ceiling. I'll take 2 more just like that. So with your breath, inhale, left leg towards a hover. Navel to spine, exhale, left leg lifts up towards the sky. Okay, last one here, starting to light up the side bodies. Inhale, left leg lowers. And exhale, left leg lifts. Go ahead and bring your head and shoulders back to center. Let your head and shoulders release and relax. Interlace your hands on your left shin and then extend your right leg out across your yoga mat. So you're in winter moving pose, second side. Take a pause to feel the length of your right side body that just worked hard. Take a breath in. And then supine twist as you breathe out. Left knee tips over to the right. And so we're here for our 2 to 3 breaths. Think again about breathing into the back of your body. So exploring the different areas in the back of your body to let you can send your breath. And your next breath out, okay, let the breath empty all the way. Feel that little bit of core connection at the bottom of your breath as you rinse out your lungs, and then start to make your way through center. So you square up your hips, find figure 4, left ankle on your right thigh. Again, flex your left ankle, and without using your hands, start to bring that whole figure 4 towards you. And then as you pull your right thigh in the direction of your heart, you're going to push your left shin and thigh bone forward and away. Okay, the flex of your left ankle helps to support your knee joint in this one, so make sure your left ankle is really strong. And then feel that opposing action. Maybe a little bit of a rock from side to side on this side as well. And then, of course, if you'd like to explore the contrast and sensation, go ahead and reach your hands behind your right hamstring or the top of your right shin. Give yourself a slow and steady inhale. And a slow and steady exhale. As you release the grip of your legs, place your right foot to the earth and send your left leg towards the ceiling. Reach your hands behind your left leg and bring your leg gently in the direction of your heart. Continue to breathe into the back of your body here. And then we'll start to set up for our core connection second side. So bend your left knee in towards your heart space. Take your hands to interlace behind your head. And use the strength of your core to lift your head and shoulders off the earth. We're going to twist our heart towards the left, right elbow towards your left thigh. Again, if you can create connection there, go ahead and push elbow and thigh together. If not, no worries. Think about lifting your heart to your thigh. That'll light up the same area in the body. I'm going to send your right leg forward to a hover, keeping the twist the whole time. Press out through your right heel, take a breath in. Pull your navel down, and on your exhale, lift your right leg slowly to the sky. Really take your time on the way up and down. Good inhale to lower, super slow. Resisting gravity. Yeah, that's it, that's the pace. And on your exhale, right leg lifts up. Good. Use the length of your inhale to lower with control, thinking about using your core to move your leg in both directions, no momentum. And exhale, right leg lifts. We have 2 more. Your inhale to lower. Going as slow as you can, your exhale to lift.
Maybe lift your shoulder blades a little bit taller again, just resetting. Last time here, breath in, we lower. Letting it get a little bit spicy and let it heat up in the core. On your exhale, right leg lifts. Letting that heat build through your belly. You're gonna go ahead and bend both knees to your chest. Let your head and shoulders relax back. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Maybe a clearing exhale to release some of that heat away. Then go ahead and make your way up to your tabletop pose, all fours. So maybe you rock and roll forward and back. Also just tip to your left or to your right to find your way up. And as you bring your shoulders to stack above your wrists, and your hips to stack above your knees, and just a gentle spread through your fingers. And then we'll inhale to lift our heart and tail to cow pose. That stretch across your belly as you hug the heels of your hands to your knees. And exhale to your cat pose, round your spine. Then one more time through, inhale to your cow shape, lift your heart, lift your tail. Then exhale to your cat pose, round your spine for that spread of your shoulder blades across the back of your heart. And this time as you inhale, find a neutral spine and then walk your hands forward. You can either be on your fingertips so you can drop to your palms and dive your heart down towards the earth. Hips high, chest low, opening through the front body, the back body, breathe. Then push the earth away as you start to lift your heart back up. Walk your hands back beneath your shoulders into your tabletop pose. And then tuck your toes underneath. And hover your knees a couple inches off the earth into your hovering tabletop. And then if it's available, find like a really slight and slow tilt back and forth of your pelvis until you find that sweet spot where your low belly catches. So often in this hovering tabletop, we have our tails overly tucked, and that helps light up the front ribs a little bit more, but if you start to untuck the tail slightly, we'll add in the lower core as well. And take a breath in. And from that low belly space that you've lit up, go ahead and find your way to downward facing dog. Feel that low belly area, pull your pelvis up and back to the sky. And then adjust your stance as much as you need to arrive into your down dog. You might stretch one heel in the direction of the earth and then the other. Try to let the entire weight of your head relax. And your sits bones stretch to the sky. And then wander forward until you find your way to your forward fold, top of your yoga mat. Maybe allow a pretty generous bend through your knees this morning since it's early. And then lean your weight forward and back a couple times as you release the weight of your skull again. As you tip the weight into the fronts of your feet, right? Keep that forward and downward energy as you feel your hip creases pull back and up in the opposite direction. You can still maintain softness in your knees while you create that. Right? With that forward and downward energy through your feet, the up and backward energy through your sits bones. Go ahead and inhale to a halfway lift. Continue to reach your sitting bones back as you stretch your heart and crown forward, so getting as long as possible. Your exhale, forward fold release. Then rise all the way to stand on your inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, deep breath in. A little softness in your knees, goddess your arms on your exhale, but imagine a string lifting your sternum up to the sky as your elbows go wide. And breathe in to reach up tall. And exhale, forward fold, soften your knees again as you hinge at your hips. Good. Take a half lift on your inhale, lengthen out. And high plank pose on your exhale, take a step back. And pause as you breathe in. And stay as you exhale. Your next inhale, start to shift forward and the knees up or down. We're gonna lower slowly. So think about pulling the heels of your hands and your elbows back in space, but continue to reach your heart and crown forward like you're looking over the top of your yoga mat until you find your way all the way down to your belly. You'll untuck your toes, then inhale to a low cobra, lift the back of your heart space. On your exhale, lower down. You're gonna move into a shoulder stretch, so go ahead and bring your left arm into a 90-degree bend, goddess arm on the earth. So your elbow is in line with your shoulder, your wrist is in line with your elbow, and then look over to the right. Tighten your right fingertips on the ground, and then start to kickstand your right toes towards the earth behind you, almost like a wild thing or a twist. And as you gently root down through your left arm, breathe into that stretch across your chest, through your pec, and the front of your left shoulder. Your right toes can float in space if they don't touch the ground behind you. That's totally fine. Let your right shoulder lean back towards that wall behind your heart too. Taking one more inhale. And one more exhale. And slowly start to roll back through center. We're gonna set up for second side right away. So bring your right arm into that 90-degree bend. So you tighten your left fingertips and look over to the left. Begin to kickstand your left toes behind you. You're gonna root down gently through your right arm, so pushing your palm, your elbow into the earth. Allow your left shoulder to lean back to add a little bit of depth. Your chin is tucked towards your chest, slowly untuck your chin. And then reach your breath into your right side. We'll roll back to center and we're gonna set up for a gecko pose next to continue to open through the front leg. So set up your fingertips out wide of the outside edges of your yoga mat, so a little bit wider than your yoga mat. As you tighten your fingertips, take an inhale to lift your heart. On your exhale, dip your left shoulder in and look over to the right. Think about setting your shoulders back out of your ears and reaching your elbows over your wrists. And inhale up through your center, long and strong. And exhale, second side, right shoulder dips in and look over to the left. Let your inhale lift you up through center once more. And on your exhale, pull your heart forward as you lower down. Hands by your low ribs, use an inhalation to find either upward facing dog or a low cobra. So your heart opening of choice. As you press down to the tops of your feet, pull your ribcage out of your pelvis. And then downward facing dog, pike your pelvis up to the sky. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Be a clearing exhale out of your mouth, let it go. And inhale your right leg up towards the ceiling, find your three-legged dog. With your exhale, keep your shoulders square, but bend your knee and open your hip. So feeling how the squaring of your shoulders has a little bit of resistance in that twist through your lower half. And imagine you could push your right heel to the wall that's on the left side of your yoga mat. Feel your right glute light up. With a big breath in, extend your right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. On your exhale, take your right knee towards your left tricep. Now listen, you're gonna keep your hands as they are and keep your right knee hugging to your left tricep. Just turn your left toes, the toes of your extended leg, to the left until your left heel lands on the earth. So your left foot is like the extended leg of a warrior two. And pull your heart straight through your biceps. Hug your right shoulder into your torso, pull the heel of your right hand to the back of your yoga mat. As you lift your right thigh a little bit higher to your heart, pull your right knee more towards your left armpit. It's gonna light up your right side body a lot. Press your hips a little bit to the left. And inhale, three-legged dog, reach your right leg tall again. And with your exhale, step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. So a big wide step forward. Maybe help it there. You'll lift up to your fingertips. Then dip your left knee to a hover and pull your heart through. Press your left heel back in space. Maybe light up your left glute a little bit by pushing down to the ball mount of your left foot. Through lighting up your seat, you might help to release the front of the hip a little bit more. And let your left knee lower all the way down. And take a twist, reach your right hand back in space. If your right toes want to angle a little bit to the right, or you want to peel open to the outside edge of your right foot, you can feel free to do that. Maybe your left heel comes towards your seat, adding a thigh stretch for your left hip again, or maybe you catch your left foot with your right hand and find your twisted monkey. For yourself, one more breath in. On your exhale, as you release, bring your right hand to the inside of your right foot, tuck your back toes and lift your back knee off the earth. Get strong with your left thigh, your left quadricep, and as you push into your hands, you choose one-legged plank or high plank. Reach your right leg back as you breathe in, so either to hover or to the earth. On your exhale, bring your right knee to your nose again, leg high into your heart. Three-legged dog, inhale your right leg to the sky. And exhale to step your right foot forward in between your thumbs this time. Good. Go ahead and turn all 10 toes to the left and bend your left knee for a side lunge. This would also be Skandasana, so today we'll let them be interchangeable. So Skandasana is where you'd flex your right toes to the ceiling. And breath in here. On your exhale, we're going to go back into a low lunge at the top of our yoga mat. So bend into your right knee and pivot to face forward. As you shift your weight to right foot, gentle standing splits on your left leg towards the sky. And you want to softness to your right knee, allow your head to fall heavy. Take an inhale. And then chair pose on your exhale, step into your seat. Allow your sitting bones to reach back and down first, and then drive into your heels. Just scoop your heart and hands up high. On your exhale, goddess your arms, option to shift into your tippy toes for a little balance challenge with your ankle stability. And then release back to your chair pose, heels land, reach through your hands, big breath in. And airplane your arms beside you, and as you tip your weight over to your left foot, use the strength of your belly to flamingo your right heel to your seat. Good. Crescent lunge, reach your right toes to the back of your yoga mat, and then on your inhale, lift your heart in your hands. And with your exhale, keep your hip points nice and wide. We're going to prayer twist our right elbow towards the outside of our left thigh. If prayer twist doesn't work for you, you can always hover it if it doesn't work to get all the way to the outside of your left thigh. You can also release your right fingertips to the ground and reach your left hand to the sky. Right. Wherever you are, though, feel your left knee moving slightly energetically wide to the left, and your right hip and knee moving slightly energetically wide to the right. So we're just trying to avoid collapsing inward to the center. Push down with your feet, and slow motion rise back to your high crescent lunge. Take your time, it's gonna be spicy, big breath in. On your exhale, goddess your arms, let your heart open as your elbows go wide. Your hands are just going to drape down to the earth to frame your left foot. And then use your strong core to lift your left leg up. Three-legged dog, big breath in. Bend your knee and open your hip as you breathe out. As you lengthen through your right side body, let your left shoulder square down with your right. Flex your left foot and push your left heel to the wall that's on the right side of your yoga mat. Feel that light up your left seat a little bit more. With an inhale, re-extend your left leg, three-legged dog. And exhale, left knee towards your right tricep. Now pause. Try to square your shoulders and your heart here. And then turn your right toes to the right until your right heel lands to the ground. You push through your right foot, push your heart forward through your biceps. Look forward out in front of your yoga mat. And pull your left thigh up to your heart a little bit more. And pull your left knee towards your right tricep. Take one more breath here. We're going to take our time headed to a three-legged dog. So use your strong core, your left obliques, to lift your left leg back to the ceiling. And step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Okay. Boost up to your fingertips so you get a little more clearance, and then let your right knee lower towards a hover. Try to create as much space between your right knee and your sternum. And as your right heel reaches back, again, maybe squeeze your right glute into engagement a little bit. Continue to draw your chest forward, collarbones wide. And release your right knee to the earth, right palm to the ground, and twist your left hand back in space. And let your left foot angle to wherever your knee wants to be. Maybe bring your right heel in the direction of your right booty cheek. Maybe you even catch your right foot. So adding in the thigh stretch. Feel your shoulder blades draw together, and then feel your shoulder blades press your sternum away from your tailbone towards the front of the room. Now we'll release. Left hand goes to the inside of your left foot. Go ahead and turn your left toes forward, tuck your back toes, and lift your back knee. Push into your hands, press to your strong right toes, one-legged plank or high plank. Using your strong core, reach your left leg back as you inhale. And knee to nose on your exhale. Three-legged dog, left leg to the sky. And step your left foot forward in between your thumbs to be held it there. We'll rotate all 10 toes to the right into a side lunge, right knee bends. Or again, Skandasana, maybe flex your left toes to the sky. Think about getting a little bit grounded through the hips and more upward in your heart energy. Think lengthen up towards the ceiling. If you're in your side lunge, you can also find that groundedness to your hips a little bit and heart to the sky. We're going to rotate low lunge to the top of our yoga mat, spin around to face forward again, and then boost into your standing splits. Press down with your left foot until your right toes go to the sky. So this boost energy that I keep saying is that root to rise energy that is maybe that more familiar language. Then root to rise, take your breath in, let your head hang heavy, and then slow and intentional chair pose, step into your seat. And here we are, we root down through our feet and we rise up through our torso. Big breath in. As you goddess your arms, we pull yourself onto your tippy toes. And with control, land your heels, lengthen your arms with your breath in. And airplane arms, we're gonna shift our weight to our right foot and flamingo our left toe to our seat. And staying low, step back to your crescent lunge, left toes find the back of your yoga mat. And push through your right foot and lift your heart in hands. And look down and see that your right knee is moving slightly energetically wide. Feel the width of your hip bones. It's almost like as if someone had their hands on your outer hips and you're pressing into them. And as you keep that integrity through your pelvis, power through the left leg in particular. Twist over towards the right, left elbow towards the outside of your right thigh. Okay, pressing through the ball under your left foot to feel the energy through your left leg. This outward energy that we're creating through our legs helps to light up our outer seat, recruiting more of our legs. Let your right shoulder lean back. Keep that buoyancy of your left hip point. And push down through your feet first. Then slow and steady rise up, high crescent lunge. Big breath in. Let your exhalation, goddess your arms, open your heart. Let your hands fall down to the earth to frame your right foot. Step back into your high plank pose, right foot meets your left. Take a deep breath in. Vinyasa or down dog, so either shift forward to flow through your chaturanga, or go ahead and just send your hips up and back to downward facing dog. And in your downward facing dog, take a deep breath in. And a clearing breath out. Here we go. Inhale your right leg to the ceiling. And on your exhale, bend your knee and open your hip. Option to stay right here as is, or maybe find your wild thing. So if your right toe is behind you, creating that openness across your heart, micro bend your left elbow Feel your shoulder blades help to scoop your heart up to the sky. Return to your three-legged dog. Slowly bring your right palm back to the earth. And use your strength to lift your right leg up to the ceiling. Right into your left tricep, cross underneath your body. And pause, keep everything the same. Just turn your left toes to the left until your left heel lands. Once your left heel is rooted to the earth, push your heart forward, look forward. But continue to pull your right knee towards your left armpit and pull your right hand back in space. That three-legged dog. Will inhale the right leg to the sky. And exhale, right knee towards your right tricep, shift forward. Three-legged dog, breath in. Place your right foot in between your thumbs as you breathe out. All 10 toes turn to your left, bend your left knee, side lunge or skandasana. Maybe bring your hands to your heart. Maybe you spread your wings wide this time. You can also find a bind if you're in your skandasana. Maybe wrapping your left arm around your left leg and hooking your fingers behind you. Energize your right leg nice and strong. Take a breath in. We'll all meet in our low into the front of our yoga mats again with exhale. So start to bend into your right knee, pivot around. Root through your right foot, gentle standing splits. Lift your left leg to the sky with a breath. As you breathe out, find your Shiva squat one time, bend and tap. And then into your standing splits, re-extend. To chair pose, Utkatasana, step into your seat. Get low through your hips and lift your heart in your hands. Okay, goddess arms, option for tippy toes. Pull your front ribs to the back of your body as you squeeze your shoulder blades to kiss. And back to chair pose, release your heels, reach your hands, deep breath in. Airplane arms, flamingo your right heel to your seat as you breathe out. Okay, rise up with your inhale, one-legged Tadasana, reach to the ceiling. And figure four as you exhale, right ankle on left thigh, hands to the heart as you sink into your one-legged chair. Ekapada Utkatasana. So option here, if you want to bring your elbows close to your right shin for a little depth, you could. You also have the option to twist your heart towards the left. Looking down at the earth can be helpful for this. Maybe right elbow to the arch of your right foot. Some people maybe take their hands down to the earth in this shape. If that's available to you, you can go there. Give yourself one more breath in. And one more breath out. So press down with your left foot. Take all the time that you need to rise just inch by inch back into your one-legged Tadasana. And then step into your high crescent lunge, right toe shoot to the back of your yoga mat. Lift your heart, lift your hands. And then prayer twist, right elbow to the outside of your left thigh. Maybe spread your wings, one, you can just reach your left hand to the sky, or both right fingertips towards the earth. Okay. Press down with your feet as you light up your belly, high crescent lunge, scoop yourself up again, deep inhale. And goddess, your arms on your exhale. Let your hands fall to frame your left foot. This time, drop your right knee to the earth and lengthen out your left leg for a half split. Think about untucking your tail as you reach your heart forward, collarbones wide. You can have softness to your left knee, anchor down with your left heel, and energetically pull your left heel back in space against the earth. You're trying to drag your left heel to the back of your yoga mat. From here, bend into your front knee. Lift your right knee off the earth. As you push down with your hands, three-legged dog, lift your left leg to the ceiling, deep breath in. Bend your knee, open your hip as you breathe out. Stay, or perhaps you explore your wild thing. Left toe step lightly behind you. The fullness of your breath help to lift your heart towards the ceiling. And three-legged dog, arrive your left hand back to the earth as you lengthen your left leg to the sky. Left knee towards your right tricep as you breathe out. Pull your heart through your biceps. Look way out in front of your yoga mat. Then turn your right heel down to the earth. Bump your hips a little bit over to the right. As you pull your left knee forward, pull the heel of your left hand back. Continue to pull your left knee forward and up, and pull your heart even further forward. Okay, three-legged dog. We inhale to lift and lengthen. I know that one's really spicy. And exhale, left knee towards your left tricep. Three-legged dog, big breath in. Then place your left foot forward between your thumbs. Maybe help it there as you breathe out. Spin your toes to the right. Side lunge or skandasana, bend into your right knee. Again, so any variation here, you can spread your wings. You can bring your hands to heart center. You're in a skandasana, where you wrap your right arm around your right leg. You take your left hand behind you and you hook your fingers to create the bind. Take a bigger breath in here. And a breath out. When you're ready to find your transition, we'll meet in our low lunge at the top of our yoga mat, just like before. So start to release your hands. Bend into your front knee and pivot around. Right, lift your right toes to the sky, standing splits. You inhale your right toes up, let your head hang heavy for a second. And then Shiva squat, bend and tap. You press the energy down with your left heel to root and rise, standing splits. Chair pose, Utkatasana, step into your strong seat. Let your breath lift you up. Front arms pull in, goddess arms, option for your tippy toes. Seat stays lotus, lift your heels up and away from the earth. And then with control, place your heels down to the ground, chair pose as you breathe in. Airplane arms, flamingo, your left heel up towards your seat. Good, and rise up with your left leg to stand. Take your time. Head into our figure 4 second side. Left ankle on your right thigh, hands might come to heart center. And your sits bones back and then down. Super active through your left ankle. Also think about that hugging in of your hips again. Left sitting bone is in line with your right, so nice and even, and your left knee is moving towards wide and down. Again, for depth, you might bring your elbows towards your left shin. Perhaps you twist your left elbow to your left arch. Looking straight down is helpful for stability in the twist. Or again, some people like to bring their hands down to the earth. That's also an option. Give yourself another slow cycle of breath here. And then press down to rise up. Push into your right foot to rise all the way with your left leg. Let your core draw you up the rest of the way. Then crescent lunge, left toes find the back of your yoga mat. And you'll inhale to lift your heart and hands. Prayer twist, left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. Keep your right knee going wide. Option to spread one or both wings wide. As you push down to your feet, slowly start to rise back up, high crescent lunge, deep breath in. And then goddess your arms. Think about that string from your sternum to the sky as your elbows go wide. Hands will drape down to the earth to frame your right foot. Then release your left knee to the ground. And lengthen out your right leg for your half splits. Your fingertips can walk back. And scoot your right heel forward. As you flex your right toes, think about the untucking of your tail again. So it's almost like a cow spine here. And then with at least a micro bend through your right knee. Use the power of your right leg to root your right heel down. Think about pulling your right heel back as you continue your heart forward. Last breath here. So to bend into your front knee. Lift your back knee off the earth. Step into your high plank pose. Find an in breath. When you're ready, you choose Vinyasa or down dog on your exhale. your downward facing dog, go ahead and release your knees to the earth, child's pose. Hips will find your heels. Give yourself a slow breath. From your child's pose, rise on up. Tip to the left or to the right to bring your legs forward out in front of you. Send your legs out long to start. Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. You might untuck your booty a little bit, adding some softness to your knees. We won't be in this very long. We're just going to take an inhale to reach up high. And exhale, dive forward any amount. And then think about, as you inhale, your heart goes to your toe, and think about your sits bones stretching to the back of your yoga mat. Your exhale, let your head fall even heavier. Take just one breath here. We're going to find a little hip opening add-on, so go ahead and slowly press your way back up. It's feeling that Paschimottanasana, forward fold sensation. Bend into your right knee, and then take your right foot to the outside of your left thigh. And then you're going to start to wiggle your right foot to the left and come into this half Gomukhasana variation. So we're working to wiggle our right foot so far to the left that our knees are moving towards stacked. Now flex your right foot. It's almost like your right shin is kind of like a half pigeon leg even. And then go ahead and flex your left toes to the sky so there's energy through the grounded leg. Make sure there's a micro bend through your left knee, and then reach up high through your heart and hands again. Great. On your exhale, hinge forward any amount. This might be a little bit spacier. To get more of the right outer hip stretch, you might have to pick up your right sitting bone and scooch it back in space. Yeah. And then also think about pressing the pinky edge of your right foot down into the earth, just like you would in your half pigeon. As your right sitting bone is pulling back, your right hip crease is pulling back, your heart continues forward. You can also choose to start to kind of round over your leg unit if you want to. It creates, for my body at least, a very interesting sensation up along my spine. It definitely shines light on the areas of tension and tightness that are kind of sneaky to the back body here. Then go ahead and slowly rise up. Okay, and we'll unwind your right leg and send your right leg forward. We'll just find second side. So bend your left knee. Walk your left foot to the outside of your right thigh and start to wiggle your left foot over to the right. Flex your left foot a lot. You might kind of untuck the flesh from beneath your sits bones here. Make sure there's a micro bend in your right knee since you're putting a lot of downward energy over the joint, and then flex your right toes tall and reach up to the sky with your inhale. And exhale to hinge forward any amount. You don't have to rush on the hinge. You might pause a little bit taller for a breath. Again, you might need to adjust until you find the outer hip stretch here. Your left foot might have to wander more to the right. Maybe you press the outside edge of your left foot down into the ground using your left glute strength that can help create that engagement through the left side. Think about pushing your left thigh bone back into your pelvis towards the back edge of your yoga mat. Almost like your cow spine again, so sitting bones are untucking back into the sky as your heart reaches forward. And then maybe you fold over and just let your head relax, release. Let's take one more breath here. And start to make your way back up. Unwind your legs. Scooch forward to the top of your yoga mat. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees open wide for Baddha Konasana. Feet closer to your pelvis, a little bit more intense to the inseam of your legs, and then feet forward, a little bit less intense. And then go ahead and reach down maybe for the fronts of your shins, and inhale to lift your heart, feel that spread of your collarbones across your chest. And your exhale, maybe hinge forward any amount here. You can also walk your hands out in front of you if you'd like to. Just give yourself 2 cycles of breath. Down through your sitting bones and start to rise back up. Reach to the ceiling on your inhale. On your exhale, use your core to slowly start to lower you all the way down. You can keep your butterfly legs as you lower. Getting a little bit of core challenge along the way. We'll meet in Supta Baddha Konasana, which is our supine butterfly pose. So if you release the butterfly legs to make your way down, go ahead and bring the soles of your feet together again. Knees open wide. Then place one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. And start to fill your belly with your breath. As you exhale, feel that release of all the breath from your body. You're going to inhale down into your belly inflate up towards the sky. Your exhale, slowly release. Take one more cycle of breath just like that, allowing this area of our body that normally we constrict and constrain and hold tight to be free as it floats up towards the ceiling, like an air balloon with your breath in. And then as you exhale, let all that's go. And that letting go, allow your head and shoulders to go a little heavier. Reach down to the outsides of your thighs and start to bring your knees back into your body. Take a deep breath into your low back. As you breathe out, let both knees tip over to your left for a gentle twist. Just one slow and steady inhale along your right side. And one slow and steady exhale. And then lifting one leg at a time, just tip your knees over to the right, finding your gentle twist second side. And give yourself that one breath here. And then you'll bring your knees back to center, to your chest. Maybe curl your nose up to your knees, into a tight little ball. Breathe into the back of your neck, the back of your heart space. Then as you're ready, exhale to Shavasana, your final relaxation. Just giving yourself a moment to get really comfortable. Supported by the earth, let your head, shoulders, and hips all sink in and down. Letting the weight of gravity settle over you like a blanket. Allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. Maybe your eyes are closed.
You visualize your breath moving through your body. Again, without control, without any effort, just letting the breath flow on its own. And through that observation of your breath, maybe your mind can stay quiet for a little bit longer, giving yourself these last 2 minutes of your practice to be and to breathe and to pay close attention to the more subtle details of this moment before you go off into your day and the rest of the week. Giving yourself this time as a pause into the present moment. And so you're ready to slowly deepen your breath. Maybe reawaken your body. Just take your time with each breath in and each breath out. Give your inhale as long as it wants, and your exhale as long as it needs. No rush, no hurry. It's allowing your breath to flow. And if you're reawakening your body, just feeling into your fingers and your toes, trying to bring some energy back into your limbs. Maybe you take a full body stretch on your next inhale. Then the length you created. And on your exhale, you can either bring your hands to your heart, just continue to rest on the earth, or you can make your way up to a comfortable seat if you prefer, closing your practice from a tall spine. And you take this final moment to pause and acknowledge the time and intention that you devoted to your practice. The energy that you put forth this morning, you shared not only with yourself and your own practice, but the energy you shared with this virtual community, supporting others and their practices as well. So to honor the ancient roots of yoga, okay, the practice that brings us all together as a community, as a collective. We'll take a deep breath in through the nose together. And when we're clearing, exhale to let go. May yoga offer us a path to compassion. And may our practices serve as our teachers, guiding us to live more authentically and giving us a space to be our most authentic selves. Leading us to love more deeply, providing us a space where we can learn to love our entire selves. Thank you so much for being here this morning, showing up for yourself and each other. Namaste. Thanks for being here. Thank you to Pulse Collective family. Thank you to my Zoom people. both Pulse Collective and Zoom are donation based. So if you feel inclined to donate, that is deeply, deeply appreciated. If you have questions about anything else, let me know. Hope to see you next week, next Tuesday. Good to see you, Anissa, and your kitty. But have a really beautiful week, everyone. And again, don't hesitate to reach out over email if you need anything, have requests, etc. Let's see what else. I will be leading some workshops in Seattle over the next couple of weekends. All of that's on Instagram, which is Path to Compassion. You can also message me about those. But in studio, in person workshops, how exciting. So have a good week, and I'll see you next Tuesday.